Why narcissistic abuse victims let themselves smell and not take a shower. The dark truth. Have you ever noticed how some victims of narcissistic abuse seem to change drastically over time? They start neglecting themselves in ways that might seem shocking to outsiders. Their hygiene takes a backseat, showers become infrequent, and in extreme cases, their bodies even develop an odor. From the outside looking in, it might seem like they've just stopped caring. People may judge them, assuming they're lazy, unmotivated, or have simply given up on life. But what if I told you that this behavior isn't just a matter of neglect? What if it's actually a deep, unconscious response to the trauma they've endured, one that goes far beyond what meets the eye? Today, we're diving into a truth that's rarely discussed, yet incredibly important to understand. Why some victims of narcissistic abuse stop taking care of themselves, why their physical condition begins to deteriorate, and how all of this is connected to something much darker happening beneath the surface. This is not just about skipping a few showers or letting their appearance change. It's about something much deeper, something that has everything to do with control, loss of identity, and the unseen wounds that narcissistic abuse leaves behind. The truth is, when someone has been trapped in a cycle of emotional and psychological torment, their body often reacts in ways they don't fully understand. They may withdraw, lose motivation, and struggle to do even the most basic self-care routines. The energy it takes to function, to keep up with daily life, and to maintain a sense of normalcy can feel overwhelming. And so, without realizing it, they begin to let go of things they once did effortlessly. Things like brushing their hair, changing their clothes, or even remembering to eat properly. This isn't just about hygiene. It's about survival. It's about what happens when a person is drained to the point that even caring for themselves feels like an impossible task. It's about the deep psychological scars left behind when someone has spent months or even years being manipulated, gaslit, and made to feel worthless. The way they see themselves begins to shift, and before they know it, they no longer recognize the person staring back at them in the mirror. If you've ever wondered how deep emotional wounds manifest in physical ways, or if you've personally struggled with this yourself, then stay with me until the end of this video. We're about to unravel the hidden reasons behind this phenomenon, bringing light to something that so many people experience but rarely talk about. And if this resonates with you, or if you believe this is an important topic that more people need to be aware of, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps spread awareness about the reality of narcissistic abuse, so more people can understand what's really happening beneath the surface. Let's break the silence and bring these hidden struggles into the light. Imagine waking up every morning feeling like you don't matter. From the moment you open your eyes, a heavy weight presses down on you, a feeling that your very existence is a burden. No matter what you do, it never seems to be enough. You've been conditioned to believe that your needs aren't important, that your feelings don't count, and that even the most basic forms of self-care, like taking a shower, brushing your hair, or changing your clothes, are somehow too much to ask for. This isn't just exhaustion or laziness. This is what it feels like to be trapped in the psychological grip of narcissistic abuse, where even the simplest acts of taking care of yourself can feel impossible. At first, it might seem like the victim is making a choice. Maybe depression has crept in, maybe stress has taken over, or maybe they're just too drained to function. But the truth runs so much deeper. This isn't just about feeling tired or unmotivated. Victims of narcissistic abuse don't just stop caring for themselves. They lose touch with who they are entirely. The person they once were, the one who had energy, who took care of themselves without a second thought, slowly fades away, replaced by someone who struggles to get through the day. And this change isn't random. It's the direct result of the narcissist's control, a control so powerful that it breaks down their victim's will, sense of worth, and even their connection to their own body. It's not that they don't want to be clean. It's not that they don't care about their appearance. It's that they've been mentally conditioned to feel detached from their own well-being. One of the most dangerous weapons a narcissist uses is shame. They wield it like a tool, breaking their victim down bit by bit, stripping away their confidence and self-respect. Narcissists love to criticize, picking apart everything about their victim's appearance, how they dress, how they look, how they smell. Even when the victim tries, even when they make an effort to take care of themselves, the narcissist will still find something wrong. They might say, "You look messy," even when their victim is dressed nicely. They might say, "You smell," even when they've just showered. They'll create a cycle where no amount of self-care is ever enough, where every attempt to look good or feel good is met with rejection, ridicule, or indifference. And after enough of this, the victim begins to internalize these messages. They start to wonder, why bother? If every effort is met with criticism, if nothing they do is ever enough, why should they even try? Slowly, the motivation to keep up with personal hygiene begins to fade. First, they skip a shower here and there. Then, they stop getting dressed properly. Over time, this small neglect turns into a habit, and before they even realize it, they've completely stopped taking care of themselves. But it's not because they don't care. It's because they've been made to feel like they don't deserve to. The narcissist has succeeded in making them feel worthless, and that feeling of worthlessness seeps into every part of their life, even down to the way they treat their own body. This is why narcissistic abuse is so insidious. It doesn't just hurt emotionally, it leaves a lasting imprint on the victim's entire sense of self. And for many, regaining the will to care for themselves again is one of the hardest battles to fight. Another major factor at play is something called learned helplessness. This happens when a person is stuck in a situation where nothing they do seems to make a difference. When someone is trapped in an abusive environment, constantly criticized, ignored, or punished no matter how hard they try, they eventually give up. Over time, their mind learns that no amount of effort will change anything, so they stop trying altogether. At first, they might still make small attempts. Maybe they try to dress nicely one day, or they put in extra effort to look presentable. But when their actions are met with more cruelty, mockery, or indifference, they slowly lose hope. This is why self-care begins to feel pointless. If nothing they do is ever appreciated, if they're always made to feel ugly, dirty, or unworthy, why should they even bother? And the worst part is, this isn't a choice they make consciously. They don't wake up one day and decide to stop taking care of themselves. It's something that happens gradually, a slow unraveling of their willpower, their motivation, and their belief that they deserve to feel good. When victims stop showering, stop brushing their hair, or let their appearance fall apart, it's not because they don't care. It's because they've been conditioned to feel powerless. Their mind has been rewired to believe that self-care is useless, that nothing they do will ever be good enough. And this psychological state is incredibly difficult to break free from, because it's not just about habits. It's about deeply ingrained beliefs about their own worth. But there's an even darker side to this, one that most people don't talk about. For some victims, neglecting their appearance isn't just a response to hopelessness, it's a survival tactic. If the narcissist in their life is sexually abusive or uses their attractiveness as a way to manipulate them, they may start to believe that looking undesirable is their only form of protection. If looking good brings them unwanted attention, They may start to associate cleanliness, grooming, and beauty with danger. So, without even realizing it, they begin to let themselves go, hoping that by appearing unkempt, they can avoid further harm. This is especially common in situations where the narcissist controls their victim through shame and fear. If the abuser has made them feel like their body is something to be used, judged, or criticized, they may start to detach from it altogether. They might wear oversized clothing, avoid mirrors, or even neglect their hygiene as a way to create distance between themselves and their own body.